Welcome to the Holly Area Community Show. I'm Jody, brought to you by Reach, and I'm here today with Joy Melby. We're actually in her beautiful, is this a sunroom or? It's a
sewing room?
Sewing room, and a new addition to your house, I understand.
Yes.
Yes, and we're here to talk about something that actually Reach is doing. Reach stands for Rural Enrichment and Counseling Headquarters. It's in Holly, Minnesota, but it serves the rural communities of Clay, Norman, and West Becker. We're here today to talk about some of the needs that people like you have, Joy, some needs that we're hearing a lot in the community. So thank you for coming to the show. First of all, you had given us a call a while back looking for some help with transportation. Do you currently drive, or are you able to drive?
I know I can't drive because I'd taken my driver's license away from me. And after I had my stroke, they took my driver's license.
So you had a stroke how long ago?
Oh, it's about 9 years.
9 years. So you live here with your daughter.
Yes.
But I understand she works during the day. Yeah. So she's unable to take you to appointments, I assume, during the day.
Well, only if she takes the day off.
Yeah. So how have you been getting to the places that you need to get?
Well, I have some good friends that have been taking me. Ruth Moan is one of them.
And that's people in the rural community, they help each other. But Reach is looking at having a program run by volunteers who would offer to give people a ride, and then Reach would reimburse them for gas. And this is something maybe you'd be interested in?
Yes, that'd be a very good program.
So what sort of needs do you have in terms of where do you need to go, and what type of transportation do you need?
Well, sometimes it's just to go downtown or to go over to the church, or usually if I'm going to church at Rolog, there's enough people from Rolog and that live in town, I usually can hitch a ride with somebody.
And you've got beautiful hair. Do you go to the beauty shop, or?
Yes, I do. I go to the sear shop.
Which is right downtown, but if you can't drive, it's a little too far to walk here from Westgate Circle.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's uphill a lot of the way.
Oh, right. Yeah, so this is something that we're not just hearing from you. There's other people too that need this sort of help. So we're going to talk a little bit with Jessica Clays, who's the Family Support Coordinator at Reach, and she'll tell us a little bit about what she's been doing to prepare for this program, and hopefully in the future we can work with you. So thank you so much for coming to the show, and we'll take a little break. And we're back with Jessica Clays from Reach. She's the Family Support Services Coordinator. And we've done a lot of talking at Reach about just some of the gaps that we have in the community, some of the needs. And we're really looking at the elderly and the gaps there. So we were just talking to Joy, and she's a person who is unable to drive. She can do everything else for herself around her home, or most things, but driving is something she can't do. So what's in the works?
Okay, so we are planning a volunteer driver program. It would be for older adults ages 65 and up who could be the riders, the recipients of the program. And what we're working on is, we're still working on all of our guidelines, but we want to be able to provide one-on-one, so there'd be one volunteer driver to one rider.
And why is that?
Just for more of the socialization aspect, less liability and responsibility for the driver.
So not like don't want like a bus system or something like that, a mass transit, looking more at sort of like an escort, almost like a companionship sort of thing too.
Yep.
Okay.
And the key service we're focusing on is medical appointments, because we for sure want to make sure our clients can get to their medical appointments. But we're also going to add in guidelines for utilizing the service locally, like to go to the beauty shop or to go to the grocery store, but there'll be different guidelines regarding that.
So you might limit, if someone wants to go to the beauty shop like every other day, that might be a little much, so you might be limiting that, but it's still something that you want to offer to people. Great. And so when you say the community, what do you mean by community? How far out are you looking at going?
Okay, so it gets kind of complicated, but in terms of our service area for the driver program, we're looking at going to the Clay County line east, the eastern Clay County line, up to the northern Clay County line, and then it'll go west is 4 miles west of Highway 9.
Wow, you're getting specific. Okay.
Yes. And then we'll go south of Highway 10, probably about 5 miles. So it covers a really huge area. Mainly, I suppose I could say the towns, Holly, Ulen, Hitterdall, Felton, and Glendon are our key areas.
So in that area.
Yep.
I can see where you'd have to limit it when you're starting out. Are you looking at potentially in the future expanding? Or?
Yes, it really depends on how good of a response we get to the program, where we find the needs, and we know there are the needs out there, but we also would need volunteers in order to meet those needs. So the volunteers are a key aspect of the program.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. So if someone watching this show wanted to volunteer, what would be expected of them, and what sort of liability would they have?
Okay. Well, first of all, they would have to prove their insurance on their car and have a valid driver's license. And we're doing background checks on all of our volunteer drivers. And then once they're approved, safe to be a volunteer for our program, then there'll be different trainings that they'll be required to take so that they feel safe in their position and they know really what our program is about and what's outside of their responsibilities. So it just would take somebody who's willing to volunteer and drive someone to an appointment when they have spare time.
Wow, and so you would do the scheduling at the office,
Yep.
and then if a volunteer driver has committed but they can't drive during a particular stretch of time, is that an issue? Or
no, it's, we'll use volunteers as they're available, and so with that said, that means that we can't always guarantee that there'll be a driver available when a rider needs it.
Okay, so this is exciting. So what do we need to do to get to that point where we can offer this service at reach?
So we still need to raise some funds to get this program going.
Which is another reason we're talking about it here, is because everyone watching has an opportunity to help. And what's so exciting about it is it's a one-day, 24-hour day called Giving Hearts Day. The Dakota Medical Foundation has said that they will match if we can raise $2,500.
Yep.
Two of the banks in town in Holly have offered to donate $500 if we can raise this money.
Yep.
And then people can double their gift. So on February 10th, for 24 hours, if you have a computer, you can go online, and we'll put that on the screen. It's www.impactgiveback.org, and you can just make an online donation. It's very simple. All the money will be put into the fund so that we can help people like Joy in this transportation program. We know neighbors are great in the rural communities, and we know a lot of people are helping, but we need volunteers in Ulen, Hitterdall, Glendon, all over, because we want to serve everyone. So February 10th is the day. We'd so appreciate your support.
Yes.
We'd love to launch this. We've already gotten some people saying they want to volunteer. It could be a great community collaboration, and we need your help. So go to the website February 10th and give from your heart.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.